I had always thought that trust was unshakable between us. My wife, Vanessa, and I had been married for 12 years. We built a home together, raised 2 children, and shared routines that felt comforting and secure. I never imagined that the one person I relied on most could betray me when I was at my most vulnerable. It started with a sudden hospitalization. I had been rushed in one evening after experiencing severe chest pains. Tests, monitors, and doctors consumed my days and nights. Vanessa visited, of course, but there was a subtle unease in her demeanor that I couldn't quite place. She claimed she was staying close for me and the kids, but something in her eyes told me she wasn't being entirely honest. The first hint of betrayal came when my sister, who had been helping me at the hospital, mentioned seeing a car parked outside near a café where Vanessa supposedly was meeting a friend. I dismissed it initially, maybe it was a coincidence, but the seed of doubt had been planted. A few days later, I overheard nurses talking about Vanessa's frequent trips during visiting hours. She was claiming errands, coffee runs, or picking up things for the kids, but her phone activity told a different story. It pinged with messages late at night, texts from a man I didn't recognize, messages she quickly hid whenever a nurse or visitor came close. I started documenting everything. I discreetly checked her phone, logged texts, and even caught glimpses of social media interactions that made it clear she was hiding something. It wasn't long before the truth hit me like a thunderclap. Vanessa was cheating on me while I was lying in a hospital bed, possibly in a life-threatening situation. The anger I felt was unlike anything I had ever experienced. Not just for the betrayal itself, but for the timing. She had chosen my vulnerable state to pursue her affair, thinking I would never discover it. I decided to act, but carefully. I didn't want an emotional confrontation that could turn messy in a hospital setting. I needed a plan that was deliberate, undeniable, and irreversible. First, I collected all the evidence. I saved her messages, took screenshots of her interactions, and noted the times and locations she had been meeting this man. I even found photos she had sent him while visiting me in the hospital, proof of a betrayal so audacious it made my blood boil. Then came the execution. I waited until I was discharged and back home, still weak from tests and recovery, but clear-headed and resolute. I invited a few close family members over under the guise of a casual dinner, making sure Vanessa would be present, confident that she could maintain her facade. When everyone had arrived, I calmly began to display the evidence. First, the texts, messages that left no doubt about the affair. Next, the photos she had taken secretly. Every detail of her deception was laid bare in front of the people she trusted. Vanessa's face went pale, her smile faltered, and her usual charm was gone. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply let the truth speak for itself. "This is what you did while I was fighting for my life," I said quietly but firmly, ensuring every word landed with precision. "You chose betrayal over loyalty, secrecy over honesty." Then I revealed the final piece of my revenge. A personal letter I had drafted in secret. It detailed my intentions for the divorce, custody of our children, and the division of assets, all arranged to minimize her power and influence. The letter also included a clause: she would have no access to my personal accounts, no freedom to enter the house unannounced, and full oversight of any interactions with our children would be legally monitored. Vanessa broke down, sobbing uncontrollably, realizing that her actions had consequences far beyond what she had anticipated. The man she had been seeing vanished from our lives entirely. Her social and familial standing was shaken. The trust she had relied on was gone. I filed for divorce immediately after, presenting the evidence to the court. The proceedings were swift. Custody arrangements were made in my favor, given the emotional harm caused to our children and the egregious betrayal during a critical time in my life. Vanessa's attempts to contest were futile. Every lie had been documented, every betrayal recorded. Months later, I watched her try to rebuild her life, only to realize that the choices she had made had consequences that could not be undone. I focused on my recovery, my children, and reclaiming the life she had jeopardized. I restored order to my home and my heart, ensuring that I would never again be placed in a position of vulnerability to someone who chose deception over love. The lesson was clear. Betrayal can strike at the most vulnerable moments, but careful, deliberate, and evidence-backed action can restore dignity, protect family, and expose truth. Vanessa thought she could act with impunity while I lay in a hospital bed, but my revenge, calm, calculated, and undeniable, shocked her, humiliated her, and reclaimed my life. In the end, I didn't just survive my hospitalization. I survived betrayal, restored justice, and rebuilt a life founded on honesty, trust, and strength.